well, circling it back to maybe episode 1 or 2, I think humans have a can have a destructive tendency sometimes. So, what do you think about human nature causes that?
That's great. And the reason why that's so great is because as human beings, we are our beliefs. When you see a human being who has destructive tendencies, the first question to ask yourself is what kind of environment has that human being grown up in? What have they been exposed to? What kind of experiences have they had their whole life that these are the beliefs that they have chosen? And if you understand the human system as a human being, the physiology, we're built for survival. Most people's personalities are developed in a way for them to survive this lifetime. When you see a human being who doesn't know how to care, chances are they have no idea what the notion of care is. Chances are they've never been exposed to caring, so they don't know, nor do they understand it because they've never experienced it. When someone's destructive, that means that most of the time, the only thoughts that they're receiving from their subconscious to their conscious are negative thoughts. Now, I want you to all ask yourself, has anyone ever had a conversation or a dialogue about how thoughts work? And if you don't have that foundation of knowing about thoughts, how long has your life been led by your thoughts? That's a lifetime of being unconscious, of understanding what's at the root of why you make your decisions, your choices, where your belief system comes from. The ultimate tool we have in this world are questions. You're going to realize that when someone has a false belief and you question it, they get defensive. And the reason being is because you are taking away from their sovereignty of what they believe in. Therefore, it's not for us to tell someone, hey, you have the wrong belief. It is for them to arrive at that understanding. But as people, we don't learn from what people tell us. We learn from what we see. It's so important. That's why in this world, leadership is so important. Because leaders that lead, they don't tell people what to do. They show people what to do. And they show people what to do by being themselves, by holding a standard of how they carry themselves, the human excellence of life, good principles, good values, choosing the higher road, the road less traveled. The concept of I am the master of my fate, the captain of my soul. Now the question is, as people, do we choose our lower selves, our desires, our vices? Or do we choose our higher selves, our principles, our values? Great perspective. End of the day, you can become successful doing the wrong things and doing the right things. But ask yourself, with what story are you going to gain the most joy, happiness, and love in your life? If I'm constantly being deceitful to people, if I'm constantly lying to people, if I'm constantly winning in a negotiation, someone's losing, that's a lot of negative energy I'm creating. It's a life of looking over my shoulder. It's a life of people always trying to compete and win over me. As in supposed to a life of me collaborating, making sure that in my relationships we all win. Making sure that in my relationships I'm giving before I'm even asking. And honestly, don't even ask. Because I promise you, when you give, people want to give to you without you asking. I don't ask for things in life. I just give. Who doesn't want a human being like that in their life? It brings energy. The conversation brings energy. Who doesn't want pleasant, caring individuals who are high of character and competence and trust? Who doesn't want those type of relationships? Who doesn't want to do business with people like that? That automatically, if there's a handshake, you don't have to micromanage anything. It's perspective. This kind of life comes from your thoughts. This kind of life comes to how you're spoken to. You have to ask yourself, what kind of thoughts are your environments feeding you with? I understand that if I have a conversation where someone's using destructive language, I'm in the wrong environment. Life doesn't have to be that. I could be having conversations of business where everything is constructive language. We have both good and bad people on this world. We have both genuine, authentic, and then we have people that wear masks and actors. We have people who have integrity and keep their word and are honest, and we have people who don't keep their word, they use deceit, and they lie. My advice, be open to everyone and work with everyone. But observe them. Because people can say things, but actions speak. Choices speak. How they treat others speak. Watch that. And understand that just because you were burned on a deal, just because you lost something on a deal, that might be your perception. But my perception, yes, on this deal that happened, but on these other 7, things went great because I was open. I didn't close myself off. And the person who lost on this deal was not I. Because I'm going to continue to do great work. I'm going to continue to do great deals. What that person did was show me who they were, so I don't have to continue making deals with this human being. But I'm staying open. They're not changing my energy. And I have a reputation to keep. So they're getting the best. If anything, they're only going to create more deals for me because when they see the human excellence that I execute on this deal with no matter what, when they see that I delivered as promised, as always, when they see that even though I knew what happened, what was wrong, I still gave. Who doesn't want to work with a human being like that? So it's all about how you frame it. That's human nature. Forget about being right and forget about being wrong. Start understanding. Start paying attention. Because life is beautiful. And just because some are lost at the moment, and they're sleeping, don't go to sleep or go back to closing off to the possibilities because you have bad experience. We're all going to have bad experiences in life. It's a part of life. But that's what makes it great. If you didn't have bad experiences, could you value the good ones? My perspective is, if you're born having everything, you will never appreciate and value life as someone who wasn't born with anything. Because when you earn it, there's a special appreciation and value you have for it that most can't see. When you feel that nothing was given to you and you really worked hard and you really gave to receive, it's an amazing feeling. To prove it to yourself that, wow, look what my soul and my spirit was able to do. Look how many people were able to help develop. Look how many people we've been given to choose a problem in the world to solve and to contribute to. And at this stage, when it comes to health, happiness, confidence, we here at Gift Fitness, we've solved a lot of problems. What I see happening is every single time we solve another big problem, then it's like the next bigger problem comes. So learn to enjoy the challenges, the obstacles, the problems, because it's a part of the growth. It's a part of the journey. And understand that regardless of whatever happens, you're always really developing to handle more challenges and problems. Don't wish for an easy life. Wish for an adventure. A journey that tested you. A journey that brought the best you out from in here, from your heart. That made your human spirit become things that you never thought possible. That whatever you dreamed of, who you became, was so much bigger than that. And that's describing human nature and the perspective that it's about what we do. But let's understand where people are at. And when we understand when someone's destructive, it's not that they're destructive. They've just never been guided. Now, am I telling you to approach that human being and tell them, hey, you're doing things wrong? Absolutely not. But what I am saying is, be the best version of yourself. Be kind to everyone. Smile. Be a giver. And just by you being the best version of yourself, that person might take a moment to pay attention to you, learn something from you, and if we're all lucky enough, they might decide to emulate you. What a gift would that be?